The Big 12 Championship game, Saturday afternoon on ABC at 12 p.m., played in AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Neutral site for this matchup between the number 16 Iowa State Cyclones and the number 15 Arizona State Sundevils. Brad, this is one of the most shocking matchups of the weekend. No one expected either of these teams to be at this level at the end of the year. And here we stand. Iowa State versus Arizona State. Both teams have made significant jumps in this year's college football season. Brad, I'll turn it over to you again, just like every other game. A lot of storylines heading into Saturday's matchup, but it's win or go home. You win, you're in the playoff. You lose, you're going to play a bowl game, and half your players are going to opt out. So, Brad, I'll turn it over to you. Thoughts on this matchup and who wins the Big 12 championship game?
Yeah, Nate, I feel like, at the beginning of the season, and we all knew that the Big 12 was truly, truly wide open, but I think two surprise teams here. Iowa State, you look at the preseason, magazines and the rankings, they were in probably the top five, but Arizona State was picked, the bottom two or three.
Yeah.
Kenny Dillingham, one of my favorite coaches in college football. He has done an incredible job there at his alma mater. Hope that they're working on a big, big extension for him because he deserves it. Matt Campbell, same thing. He's done a great job at Iowa State this year. You mentioned a lot of storylines and, good quarterback battle with Rocco Beck, Sam Levitt. But, man, they one of the best football players in America, and just he's so much fun. Cam Scadaboo, is that how we're saying? I've heard it so many ways, man. But
Scadaboo.
Scadaboo, we're going to go with that. But, yeah, he is that is really, to me, what this game is going to come down to. And, Nate, I think a big one, a very, very big storyline on this one. Arizona State missing their star wide receiver, Jordan Tyson. He's done for the year. Read that, it's a pretty serious injury. I believe it's a leg injury, if I'm not mistaken. And, Kenny Dillingham saying they're just trying to, get him back for 2025. So thoughts and prayers up to him as he goes through his recovery. But, Nate, this one comes down to, I think a lot of things, you can throw a lot of stuff out with these conference championships. But one thing that stands out to me is Arizona State's just playing hot right now. Iowa State in early November, they had a little, 2-game losing streak to Texas Tech and to Kansas, and they've bounced back in a big way. But Arizona State's they're playing good football right now and absolutely just dominated their in-state rival in Arizona. And I just think Scadaboo and that rushing attack, that's going to be the difference. I think Sam Levitt, he's definitely going to have to look for some other targets. I think it's going to be more of a by committee, obviously, with Tyson out. But I think the Sun Devils are going to find a way. I think just Kenny Dillingham is going to have them ready to go. And, give me the Sun Devils in this one.
Yeah, Brad, you mentioned the two coaches and Kenny Dillingham, just an incredible job that he's done with the Arizona State Sundevils. This is a program that was in shambles. Absolute shambles. Just a couple of years ago, no one thought that this team would have a chance coming into the Big 12. We thought as well that, maybe give Kenny Dillingham a couple of years and maybe he can sprinkle some magic and win a couple of games here and there. Boy, has he proved everyone wrong. 10-2 on the season, 7-2 in the Big 12. And then you look at a team like Iowa State, Brad. Matt Campbell, someone who was on the hot seat a couple years ago. And by the way, we got a comment on the previous video saying that he was not on the hot seat. Not sure who you've been watching, but he was definitely on the hot seat. And I think Brad would concur with that. We've talked about it off camera, but that's neither here nor there. Both coaches have just done a phenomenal job exceeding expectations. To me, Kenny Dillingham, if he wins the Big 12 championship game, should be this year's coach of the year because, like I said, to turn a program around like that, him and then Fran Brown at Syracuse, those are two of the most impressive coaching jobs I've seen this year. And the way they finished too, man, it's just incredible. So hats off to them. Hats off to Matt Campbell as well. For this game specifically, Brad, you mentioned it, Iowa State's ground game versus Arizona State's front seven. The Cyclones' rushing attack aims to exploit ASU's defense. And look, it can go either way, right? When you look at Iowa State's rushing game, you got a guy like Carson Henson. This guy's playing phenomenal. Scoring defense for Arizona State, only allowing 22 points per game, placing them 50th nationally. And then you look at their lead tackler, linebacker Will Schaefer, an absolute dog, 78 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. This is a close spread, Brad. I also want to mention, too, real quick, when you look at Arizona State's offense, they're rolling, man. They're averaging over 30 points a game. They're putting up an average of 224 passing per game. And then to your point, Scattaboo, just an absolute workhorse. He's going to get a shot in the NFL. Don't know if his playing style will translate to the NFL because of him being such a tough runner. You know, you think about the running backs that transition to the NFL, it's all about who can stay healthiest, which is unfortunate, but that's just the reality of the game. And you see a lot of great backs that go to the NFL and they never pan out. So going to be something to keep an eye on in the future. But for this game, Brad, I'm going to go with Arizona State as well. They're rolling. They've got the momentum. Kenny Dillingham, just an incredible job. And by the way, shout out Kenny Dillingham. I'm not sure if you saw Brad, but he got a $200,000 bonus. I believe, I can't remember if it's for winning 10 games or if it's for making the conference championship game. But either way, he donated that $200,000 bonus to sideline staffers that are well underpaid. Donated his entire bonus. So shout out to him. He loves that program. He loves that coaching staff. He loves that town in Tempe, Arizona. They're going to be around for a long, long time in the Big 12 with him as head coach, and he's going to get a big extension here soon. So give me the Arizona State Sundevils in a close one. I think they are the favorites, and I think they come away with the win and make the college football playoff. Let us know down in the comments who you think comes out on top come Saturday in the Big 12 championship game in Jerry's World.